You are listening to Single Smart Female, Romantic Fairy Godmama Edition.
This episode was brought to you by the Secret Society of Adored Women.
Have you been tirelessly going on crap-tastic dates, having crap-tastic results with men, even spending a crap-tastic amount of time weeding through meh guys and fretting over the one who won't call you back or commit?
Join us for our Hush Hush group of like-minded, successful, badass single women from around the world, turning the dating scene on its head and creating scandalously magical romantic experiences that you will cherish forevermore.
But beware, your love life and life will never be the same again.
Meet us over at thesecretsocietyofAdoredWomen.com. Hello, single, smart female. It is Jen here, Gen 1, your romantic fairy godmama, coming to you today with a romantic fairy godmama hot topic. Well, it's actually part 1 of a romantic fairy godmama hot topic. And in the next episode, you'll get part 2. So what are we talking about today? This should be fun. The stupid things smart women do while dating. So, trigger warning. There could be lots of possibilities of being triggered during this episode. But remember, I'm not calling you stupid. I'm calling these things stupid. And FYI, I believe almost every single one of them I did multiple times until I got my shit straight as an adored woman. And then everything started to change. So let's get started with number 1. Stupid things that smart women do while dating. Part 1, by the way. And next episode, you'll get even more. Number 1 is exclusively date one man who has not asked you to be in a committed relationship. Okay, so let's make this very, very clear. Just because the two of you, I've said this multiple times and I'm going to keep saying it, just because the two of you have said that you're not sleeping with or seeing anyone else, that doesn't mean you are in an exclusive romantic relationship, okay? And it's not even for certain that you're exclusively sleeping with each other. I'm not calling him a liar. I'm just saying that there's a lot of ambiguity in this statement, and it is really time smart women stop shutting down their options in other men just because they are dating one guy that they like or sleeping with him. So if you're exclusively dating, meaning you're seeing no one else and he has not asked you to be in an exclusive romantic relationship, you need to immediately open up your options in men. Now, how do you do that? Well, online dating is one of the very, very best ways to do it. By the way, here, let me make a little footnote. A lot of ladies try to tell me, oh, well, I can tell he thinks that we're in an exclusive relationship. Again, that still doesn't mean that you're in an exclusive relationship. And what happens a lot of times is there's a lot of hard wiring going on with us as women that thinks that somehow we owe it to a man to give them our loyalty even before the relationship. And it is very good to be a loyal person. But there are no bonus points in dating and love for being loyal before you've actually made it to exclusivity. Let me repeat that. There are no bonus points for you in dating and love if you are being exclusively loyal before you've made it to a relationship. And in fact, it is almost always a surefire way to drive yourself fucking crazy. So don't shut down your options and build your mantourage. And again, the best way to do that is to put together a slammin' online dating profile. And you can do that, and I can help you get started on that at helpmeonlinedate.com. And I'll give you the first 2 video chapters of my program, Irresistibility, for free, okay, to help you get started on that profile. Now, number 2. And this one, my client actually brought to my attention, and it is something that I don't remember doing too often, but I'm sure I did do it. But I also know that a lot of my clients, before they started working with me, and sometimes some very resistant clients as well, this is a very common theme among smart women. And that is you're saving a specific night for him that he has tentatively asked you for and not given you a concrete invitation, or he hasn't even asked you yet, but you're reserving that night just in case, okay? And let me tell you what's going to end up happening. So basically, if you keep agreeing to this, meaning he says, I'll let you know, you're supposed to go out Friday, I'll let you know by Friday morning. If you keep agreeing to this kind of scenario, this is the scenario that you're setting up for the rest of your relationship. If you happen to make it into a relationship, and most of the time, women lose their shit on them beforehand because this is such a frustrating scenario to be, and you'll push them away anyway. So the other piece of that is if you're always waiting on him and again focusing, and we talk about hyperfocus, and what you end up doing is hyperfocusing on this man. This is a type of hyperfocus. It's part of the habit where you just keep this window open for him and not for the rest of the talent in your entourage. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're telling the universe that this date with him is more important than your romantic outcome. It's more important than the things that you truly desire, which is not necessarily him. It's you. When you really peel everything back, what you desire is the experience of being with somebody who feels amazing, who treats you the way that you want to be treated, and who compliments you in a way that is a phenomenal foundation for the long-term love that you crave and you're desiring. But we, as smart women, will use this one scenario and drive ourselves fucking crazy by keeping that space open just for him, just in case, because what if you miss the opportunity? What I'm going to tell you is what you're really missing are the real opportunities that are going to happen if you don't stop doing this. You are saying to the universe it's more important that you feel crazy and unfulfilled, and that he's so important that it's worth your feelings and your priorities being neglected just because, this he's the end all be all. And that if you know anything about how I feel about that, you know that I don't like it when you drive yourself crazy. So stop that shit now, because you're setting up a pattern that's going to happen over and over again. And most of the time, you're not going to hear from them anyway, or you're going to hear from them when it's too late, or you're already too fucking pissed. And then you have to spend all the time unwinding and no real time enjoying. And then, especially when you're that frustrated and flustered, we end up doing stupid shit. Okay? So let's stop this cycle now. By the way, there's another little point to this. If you get a date invitation for somebody else, and he may not be the highest pick in your entourage at this moment, but he's treating you really well, you need to accept that invitation. Because again, what you're saying to the universe is, this is how I want to be treated. And if you're paying attention and waiting for the guy, the other one who is half-assing it and just leaving you to the last moment, then you're saying, no, wait, this is actually what I want in my love life. I want to be a last thought. I want to be, I couldn't find anything better moment. So go with what you're being handed. Go with those amazing opportunities. And as an adored woman, even if he's not as high, the man who's actually taking you and treating you the way that you want to be treated right now, maybe even if he's not as high on the chemistry scale yet for you, you can still have an amazing time. And you're going to set yourself up for better and better experiences and being treated like an adored woman. And then at some point, the chemistry is going to start to switch, and you are going to feel things that you have never felt, but you're not going to feel fucking crazy on top of it. Okay. Number 3. Oh, I remember the days of this one. Tell a man you are not going to sleep with him, and then you fucking go and sleep with him that night even. Sometimes a little bit later. Ladies, this one's a really easy fix, but you have to stop doing this. So when you tell a man you're not going to sleep with him because, you don't want him to think of you that way or want him to set an expectation in his head, and then you go and sleep with him, you have discredited everything you've said. So you have invalidated yourself. And then we get pissed why men don't take us seriously. Well, it's because our actions and our words are not lining up with each other. You're out of integrity with yourself. So here's the deal. Let's make this really, really easy. Ladies, stop telling men that you're not going to sleep with them. There's no need, okay? Just don't sleep with them if you don't want to sleep with them. You don't have to make this grand statement so that you can protect yourself or protect yourself in his eyes or the things that you think, or you don't want to set the wrong expectation. Just don't do what you don't want to do. Make it very simple, but take that phrase out and you don't have to go around declaring it whatsoever. Very simple. Number 4. And this will be the last one for this episode. So chew on this. I no longer want you to sleep with a man before you're actually ready and then expect it to become a relationship. A lot of smart, angry women running around right now because they have done this. I don't want you to beat yourself up if you have. I can't tell you the number of times that I did it myself. It's a very, very large number. But it's really important that you start understanding that you have a personal sexual time frame and you need to figure that out for yourself. It's not his sexual time frame. And this is a really important note. And this is something that you can share with younger women too, teenagers, things like that. Any point in time that you feel he's going to leave you if you don't sleep with him, that's the exact moment when you don't sleep with him. You never, ever, 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 ever sleep with a man. Or if you have done before in this scenario, you never sleep with a man when you're afraid that you're going to lose him on some level if you don't, or that he's going to lose interest in you. Why? Because that's your sign. That is your sign from the universe right there. If you have that feeling, you are not ready to sleep with him, okay? And I need all of you to let that sink in. Because what's happening is we're not emotionally ready to have sex with somebody. And then we have to all of a sudden pretend, well, I just like casual sex. And some, there are women who like casual sex. There's nothing wrong with that. But there are a lot of women who don't. And there are a lot of women who are pretending like they love casual sex when they don't really. And they're getting pissed when it doesn't result in a relationship. So if you decide to have sex with somebody and you're not yet in a relationship with them, understand going in that you're having sex because you want to have a beautiful sexual connection. And you're not looking to the results of it afterward. Especially if you haven't even dated this guy very long at all. I figured out very early on in Mantourage dating that who I thought I was when I would sleep with somebody before I was ready was actually, I needed more time. I needed more time to date a guy and for him to step up for me in a certain way and prove that he was indeed interested in me before I went to bed with him. Okay? And sometimes you cannot achieve that within a few days. So I took my time. And if a guy disappeared because I didn't sleep with him quickly enough, that was his loss. Hear that again. If he disappears because you won't sleep with him fast enough, that's his loss. And you are being protected by the universe. So again, if you are worried whatsoever that he is going to disappear, because you're not sleeping with him yet, right there, you're not ready to sleep with him yet. That's a big, gigantic sign, okay? Also, it is okay as an adored woman for you to take your time sleeping with somebody. You can take your time and get to know each other and have fun and connect and have a very playful, fun interactions that don't involve penis inside of vagina, all right? Understand that any man you lose because you didn't sleep with him fast enough, it's A, his loss, and B, you are being protected because that guy would be no fun to be in a relationship with. All right, single smart female. This has been part 1 of the stupid things that smart women do while dating. I will be coming to you in the next episode with part 2. Mwah. Okay, Lover Girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show. The choices you make or do not make while dating are the primary determinants of your love life quality. Thank you, Lover Girl, for joining us on this romantic fairy godmama edition of Single Smart Female. Don't forget to text this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends, as well as visit us at singlesmartfemale.com.
We'll talk to you next time.
And here's to you having everything you want in life and love. This episode was brought to you by the Secret Society of Adored Women.
Have you been tirelessly going on craptastic dates, having craptastic results with men, even spending a craptastic amount of time weeding through meh guys and fretting over the one who won't call you back or commit?
Join us for our Hush Hush group of like-minded, successful, badass single women from around the world, turning the dating scene on its head and creating scandalously magical romantic experiences that you will cherish forevermore.
But beware, your love life and life will never be the same again.
Meet us over at thesecretsocietyofAdoredWomen.com.